सं तो जयमुदीरयेत् नष्टप्रायेष्वभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवतीरुत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकीनन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरोन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमः ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन्निति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण। So last week we discussed Dhruva Maharaj told Narada Muni that it is not possible for me to practice your instructions. Your instructions are meant for a person of Brahminical disposition, but I have a unsubmissive, rebellious Kshatriya attitude. Whereas you are giving me instructions on satisfaction, so I cannot follow these instructions. Like that, Dhruva Maharaj told. So then Narada Muni was having a thought, then what do you desire? Tell me, what do you desire? Understanding that, expecting that Dhruva Maharaj is expressing what he is desire, what he desires. You see this in the shloka? Somebody can repeat. Padam tribhuvanotkrishtam
Padam Tribhuvanokristam
jigisho sadhu vartmame
Jigisho Sadhu Vartmame
bruhyasmat pitrubir brahman
Bruyasmat Pitrubhir Brahman
anyairapyanadishtitam.
Anyer Apyanandirstitam. Translation. O learned Brahmana, I want to occupy a position more exalted than any yet achieved within three worlds by anyone, even by my fathers and grandfathers. If you will oblige, kindly advise me of an honest path to follow by which I can achieve the goal of my life.
Padam tribhuvanotkrishtam jigisho sadhu vartmame. Jigisho sadhu vartmame bruhyasmat pitrubir brahman anyairapyanadishtitam. So in the shloka, let us see more closely. Dhruva is saying that, Hey Brahman, O Brahmana, Asmat Pitrubir Asmat Pitrubir, by my Pitrus. Pitrubihi is in the Bahuvachan, in the plural. That means what is indicating is that Asmat Pitrubir means Manvadibir Anyairapi Anadishtitam. Not only not which is not attained, that which is not attained by all my forefathers. Pitrubihi refers, he is referring to, I want to achieve a position which was not attained by any of my forefathers. Man adibir anyairapi anadishtitam. Anadishtitam means apraptam. Tribhuvaneshu utkrishtam padam. I want to achieve a state which is higher than all the three worlds. Tribhuvaneshu utkrishtam padam. Jigishoho jetum ichchami. I desire to attain such a post. Tasya sadhu sukaram vartma bruhi. In order to attain such a position, tell me a sadhu means here, one meaning is sukaram. Tell me a easy path to achieve that. Sukaram vartma bruhi. Vishna Chakotipad writes very interesting. He says that so Narada is asking that Tarhi Tvam Kim Ichchasi, what do you desire? Then Dhruva Maharaj is answering this shloka. Tribhuvanot utkrishttatve api. I want to achieve a position greater than that of the three worlds. Tribhuvanot utkrishttatve api asmat pitribir iti yo mam avamanyate sma. Iti yo mam avamanyate sma tena surchehe patya uttana padena. So I was actually disrespected, I was ridiculed, I was chastised by Suruchi. That Suruchi's husband is Uttanapad. So I want to achieve a position which is not attained by Uttanapad. I want to achieve a position superior to that of Uttanapad. Tat Pitra Manuna. And Uttanapad's father is whom? Uttanapad's father is Swayambhu Manu. I want to achieve a position which was not attained even by Swayambhu Manu. Tat Pitra Manuna. Tat Pitra Brahmana api. And who is the father of Swayambhu Manu? That is Brahma. So I want to achieve a position which was not attained even by Brahma. Or which I want to attain a position superior to that of Brahma. Or Anyairapi. Anyairapi refers to Brahmanaihi Putra Pautradibihi. Also by all the other sons and grandsons of Brahma. I want to achieve a position which is not attained or superior to all the other sons and grandsons of Brahma, descendants of Brahma. Anadishtitam, that means apraptam. Apraptam padam, jigishoho, I desire to attain. And such a path, Vartma, Bruhi, please tell. And then Vishnu Chakotipad, he gives the feeling of Dhruva. Dhruva is telling, you just tell me that path by which I can attain a position greater than that of even Lord Brahma. Tvam tavat vartma matram uddishan achire naiva tad vijaye kinchana shauryam me pashya. When you just tell such, you just tell a path by which I can attain such a position, and while you are telling that path, very soon, I will exhibit my courage, prowess, and I will become successful in attaining such a position. And you'll be able to see that. You just see that. That means where Dhruva Maharaj is saying that while you are telling that path itself, I will exhibit my prowess and achieve that position. You see that. In this way, Dhruva is speaking with this mood. So we see Prabhupada. So Dhruva refused to accept the Brahminical instruction of Narada. And naturally, what he desires, that is expressed in this shloka. He is expressing his heartfelt desire. Dhruva is frankly saying that he wants a position greater than that of the Brahma, higher than the three worlds. So Prabhupada is explaining that in the purport. So thus he wanted help from Narada to achieve that position. Dhruva Maharaj wanted a position greater than that of Brahma. This was practically an impossible proposition. But by pleasing the Supreme Personality of Godhead, a devotee can achieve even the impossible. And another point, Prabhupada has translated that the word sadhu means please tell me the honest means to achieve such a position. That means Dhruva Maharaj is not wanting a shortcut. He doesn't want to achieve such a position by hook or crook, but he wants a honest means. That means if Krishna offered him such a position, then he would accept it. That is the nature of a devotee. A devotee may desire material gain, but he accepts it only if Krishna offers it. So Dhruva Maharaj was sorry to refuse the instruction of Narada. Therefore, he requested him to be merciful to him by showing a path by which he could fulfill his mind's desires. So here we see that the honesty of Dhruva Maharaj. Dhruva Maharaj frankly is explaining. Honesty is sometimes it is easy to practice humility also, but it is more difficult to practice honesty. Honesty, it is directly dealing with the false ego, actually. So there is a difference between honesty and shamelessness. The honesty is an expression of one's limitation, but with a desire to grow, with a desire to progress, beyond the limitation. But shamelessness means it is nothing but forcing others to accept one's bad quality as the reality without the desire to progress and change. So, in a person is shameless, he will say that this is what my life is. This is how I am going to live. You have to just accept me as it is, and I'm not going to grow. You have to accept me like that. So it is like a disruptive liberal ideology. So, but honesty means to accept what we are, but not to remain where we are. Dhruva Maharaj is accepted. I cannot follow your instruction, but he did not remain at that level, because we will see later in the next chapter, Dhruva Maharaj progressed beyond. Right now, his intense ambition to get is to get a kingdom greater than that of Lord Brahma. But he progressed beyond that when he will express his spiritual desires in front of Vishnu. So, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur talks about cheating and weakness. He says to execute the order of Guru and Gauranga, as it is, we can kick out anything. If it is required to go to hell, we are prepared to go there. We are prepared to go to hell, but we will not practice any sort of duplicity. Why should I go to hell? Instead, I will accept some duplicity. I will manipulate something to overcome this danger here and to overcome some hurdle here. In this way, I will go up. But this is actually nothing but duplicity. Even if such a person goes up to Brahmaloka, still he cannot be delivered. He will fall from that position very soon. But on the other hand, a person who cultivates simplicity, if by chance he happens to go to hell, then Guru and Gauranga will go to hell to deliver that person. Therefore, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is called as Patita Pavana and not Kapata Pavana. They are the deliverers of the most degraded, but they are not deliverers of the crooked persons. Another place, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur says that cheating propensity and weakness are two different things. Persons devoid of a cheating propensity achieve perfection in life, but a cheater is never successful. Another name for Vaishnavism is nothing but simplicity. Sincere people can be weak, but they are not cheaters. Cheaters means they say something, but they do something else. Weak people are embarrassed by their defects, whereas cheaters are maddened by their achievements. One may think that I will cheat the Acharya, I will deceive the doctor, I will nourish the poisonous snake of my sinful propensity with the banana and milk, hiding him in the hole of my cheating propensity. And I will demand name and fame from the people while posing as a saint. These are not symptoms of weakness, but of utter deceitfulness. Such cheaters will never achieve any good. Rather, by hearing humbly from the saints with a sincere attitude, one will gradually attain auspiciousness. After accepting Tridandi Sannyasa, if one remains busy with worldly activities, thinking that family life is more important than spiritual life, or maintaining the sinful mentality of kidnapping Sita from Ram, as Ravan did, even while dressed as a devotee, then one is a self-killer. We are far from the worship of Hari. Even if we have weakness and have anarthas to last us for millions of years, we are not as unfortunate as if we possessed a cheating propensity. It is better to take birth as the animals or birds than to take shelter of cheating. Very strong article by Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Gopi Prandana Prabhu, Prabhupada's disciple, he would write. He had written a quote. He had written a quote in his desk. That quote is as follows: "Do not hear from the mouths of persons lacking proper conduct. If your conduct is below par, you should not publicly preach about the Lord. close the door and preach to yourself. And bhajan really begins when one's outside and inside are the same. I'm just trying to repeat this one. I know I'm very, it's a tall order for me, but so in this way, Dhruva Maharaj is honestly admitting his path. Even in the Bhagavad Gita, third chapter, Krishna says that Karmendriyani Samyamya Ya Aste Manasaswaran Indriyarthan Vimudatma Mityacharasa Uchyate. A person who externally controls the senses, but internally he is meditating on the sense objects. Such a person is considered a Mityachara pretender. On the other hand, Yastvindriyani Manasa Niyam Yarabate Arjuna Karmendriyai Karmayogam Asaktassa Vishishyate. On the other hand, a person who controls his, who is externally engaging his senses, the sense objects, in the, say, in the Grahastha ashram, and with a detachment within his mind, such a person is superior, as it is explained. So Dhruva Maharaj is honestly admitting what he desires. And the next shloka, Nunam Bhavan Bhagavato
Nunam Bhavan Bhagavato
Yongaja Parameshtinaha
Yongaja Parameshtinaha
Vitudannatate Veenam
Vitudan Atate Veenam
Hitaya Jagatorkavat.
Hitaya Jagatorkavata. Translation: My dear Lord, you are a worthy son of Lord Brahma, and you travel playing on your musical instrument, the veena, for the welfare of the entire universe. You are like the sun, which rotates in the universe for the benefit of all living things.
So here, Dhruva Maharaj is saying, Yo Veenam Vitudan Vadayan Jagato Hitaya Arkavat Atate Brahmati. You while playing Veena, you roam around the whole universe for the welfare of the universe. Jagato Hitaya. Sa Bhavan Nunam Nishchitam Bhagavatah Parameshtino Brahmanah Putrah Narada Eva Asti Veenadi Linga. You are definitely you are none other than the son of Lord Brahma, because you are carrying the Veena in your heart. That is the symbol of Narada Muni. So I am sure that you are none other than the son of Lord Brahma. Yadva Purva Shlokena Arte Hetumaha Parameshtinah Angajah. You are directly born from the limb of Brahma. Parameshtinah Angajah. You are directly born from the one of the bodily limbs of Brahma. Yo Bhavan Nanu Jagato Hitaya Atati. Atah Tribhuvanot Krishna Pada Prapti Margam Bruhi iti Sambandha. Since you are directly the son of Lord Brahma, and since you are roaming for the welfare of the universe, therefore you please tell the path by which I can attain a position greater than that of all the three worlds. Or another meaning is that Parameshtino Angajopi Bhavan Yadatati Tal Loka Hitaya Eva Ato Mama Api Hitam Karishyati. Since you are roaming for the welfare of the whole universe, please also do some welfare to me. Please fulfill my desire. Tell the path by which I can fulfill my desire. So Vishwanath Chakravarti, he says that Mama ayam tu manoratah setsyati eva iti atra grahan nishkramya tayeva bhavad darshanam eva lingam itya. So Vishwanath Chakravarti says that the purpose of let my desire be fulfilled, seeing you after leaving the house is the cause of this. Since you are born from the lap of Brahma, Ankaja means Anka refers to a lap. Since you are born from the lap of Brahma, you are born from the lap of Brahma for the welfare of the whole universe. And Bhagavat Avatar, you are the avatar of Bhagavan. So since you are the avatar of Brahman, avatar of Bhagavan. So therefore, please also tell me the path by which I can attain welfare, I can get benefit. So here we see that Dhruva Maharaj is telling Narada Muni, just like Arkavat, just like sun is roaming around the universe, sun is moving in its orbit for the welfare of the universe. Similarly, you also roam around in the world for the welfare of the people. Arkavat, the comparison is mentioned. Just like Dhruva is calling Narada Muni, you are like a sun. Similarly, Vyasadev also called Narada Muni, you are like a sun. In the first canto of the Bhagavatam, Vyasadev told that Tvam Paryatan Arka Iva Trilokim Antascharo Vayu Rivatma Sakshi Paravare Brahmani Dharmato Vratai Snatasya me Nyunamalam Vichakshva. So Vyasadeva told Narada, you wander like the sun throughout the three worlds, seeing everything, and wander like the life air throughout the body as the witness of everyone's intelligence. So you know everything. So therefore, please tell me the root cause of my dissatisfaction. Where I did, I'm not satisfied after writing all these literatures. It seems there is something insufficiency in my effort. So please tell me. So there, Vyasadeva also addressed Narada Muni, you are like a sun. Another place in the Bhagavatam, in the 11th canto, 26th chapter, Krishna is comparing a devotee, and Krishna is telling the superior position of a devotee over the sun. So in these two shlokas, devotee is compared to a sun. But in the 11th canto shloka, Krishna is telling about the superior position of a devotee over a sun. Santo dishanti chakshumsi bahirarka samuttitah devata bandava santa atmahamevacha. So my devotees, they bestow eyes to others so that they can see me. And they also give illumination to the eye, like the sun when it has risen in the sky. So my devotees are the deities, the real friends, and the object of love. They are non-different from me. That purport, it is explained that the sun gives only external sight, And that also only when it is risen in the sky. When it is not there in the sky, it cannot give even that external sight. But my devotees bestow divine eyes. They bestow divine eyes. But the sun gives only external vision, external sight. So therefore, the devotees are once worshipable deities and they are real family. In this way, the position of a superior position of a devotee or a son is described. So after that, how Narada Muni starts speaking, we'll see that. So Prabhupada writes in this purport, so Dhruva Maharaj expressed his hope that he might be offered the benediction of a kingdom which would exceed in opulence that of the father and grandfather. So Narada Muni travels all over the universe for the sole purpose of performing the best welfare activity of the entire universe by teaching everyone how to become a devotee of the Lord. Because the highest welfare of a person is to bring a person close to Krishna. So Narada Muni is teaching that. So he is performing the greatest welfare activity. The sun is also another quality of the sun is that sun distributes its light everywhere without consideration. So similarly, a devotee does not see the material qualifications of a person. This person is rich, this person is poor, etc. So he pointed out that Narada Muni travels all over the universe just for the purpose of doing good to all conditioned souls. Therefore, please also do good to me. Tell me the path by which I can fulfill my desire. Maitreya Uvacha
Maitreyo Vacha
Ityudakritamakanya
Ityudartitam Akarnya
Bhagavan Naradastada
Bhagavan Naradastada
Prita Pratyaha Tambalam
Prita Pratyaha Tambalam
Sadvakyamanukampaya.
Sadvakyam Anukampaya. Translation. The sage Maitreya continued. The great personality Narad Muni, upon hearing the words of Dhruva Maharaj, became very compassionate toward him, and in order to show him his causeless mercy, he gave him the following expert advice.
So here we see iti evam, in this way, Dhruvena Udahritam. Dhruvena Udahritam means Katitam. In this way being requested by Dhruva, Dhruvena Udakritam Katitam Vakyam Akanya. On hearing those words, Preetaha, Narada became pleased. So he did not become irritated. Sometimes the people, when they express, this is my desire, sometimes we may think that, oh, you are aspiring for such a low thing, then we may become irritated and show our anger. But Narada Muni did not become irritated. Preetah, he exhibited his pleasure. Bhagavan Sarvagyo, here the word Bhagavan is mentioned. Bhagavan referred to Narada Muni. Here it means Sarvagya, one who is all knower, one who knows everything. Bhagavan Narada. Bhagavat Icha Eva. Bhagavat Icha Eva Evamiti Jnatva. So this is the Lord's desire. Narada Muni understood that this is actually the Lord's desire only. Understanding that, because he is a Sarvagya, understanding that Naradas tada tasminneva samaye tam balam prati sadvakyam tan manoratha sadhana param vakyam anukampaya prahasma. So Narada Muni told those instructions by which Dhruva can fulfill his desire, fulfill his mind's desire. Narada Muni spoke out of compassion. So we see that Narada chastised Vyasadev in the first canto. What is the shloka? Narada told Vyasadev, Vichakshanosyar hativeditum vibor स्वभाव रक्तस्य महान व्यतिक्रम यद वाक्यतो धर्म इति तरस्थितो न मन्यते तस्य निवारणं जना. So this shloka comes in first canto, 5th chapter. Vichakshanosyar hati veditum vibor. Swabhava raktasya vichakshanosyar hati veditum vibor ananta parasya nivrittita sukham pravartamanasya gunair anatmanas tato bhavan darshaya cheshtitam vibor. So Narada told here that the Supreme Lord is unlimited, Anantapara. Only a very expert personality, retired from the activities of material happiness, deserves to understand the knowledge of spiritual values. Therefore, those who are not so well situated due to material attachment should be shown the ways of transcendental realization by your goodness. So those people who are not so who are not so well situated because of material attachment, they should be shown the path of transcendental realization through the descriptions of transcendental activities of the Supreme Lord. Narada told this. And Narada told Vyasadev that Tatonyata kinchana yad vivakshata Pritak drishas tat kritarupa namabi na kargichit kwapicha dustita matir labeta vata hatano rivaspadam. He said that whatever you desire to describe that is separate from the vision of the Lord simply reacts with the different names and forms and results to agitate the mind, as the wind agitates a boat which has no resting place. Narada, in one sense, condemned the other scriptures written by Vyasadeva. Jugupsito dharma kritenu shasata swabhava raktasya mahan vyatikrama. That people in general, they are naturally inclined towards material sense gratification. And yad vakyato dharma iti tarastito namanyate tasya nivaranam jana. People are naturally inclined to sense gratification, and you have encouraged that propensity in your scriptures, how to fulfill those desires. So therefore, I condemn your other works, like that Narada told Vyasa. So when we read those shlokas, the main purpose of Narada is not to condemn the other books written by Vyasadeva. The main purpose of Narada's instruction is that you have not written one book where there is an exclusive glorification of the Supreme Personality of God. That is the main heart of Narada's instruction. You have not written one particular book where there is an exclusive, unadulterated glorification of the path of bhakti, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and the pure devotees. Because of not writing this, and when you have written these other books where you have mentioned how to fulfill one's material desires through different demigod worship, etc., you have only encouraged the people to that path. You are not shown the highest path of pure devotional service. So, because of the same here, Narada Muni is going to tell Dhruva Maharaj how he can fulfill his desire, material desire. But Narada Muni is going to tell how he can fulfill his material desires by worshipping Vishnu. By worshipping Vishnu. So, next shloka. Dhruva Maharaj was a child, and so his demand was also that of a playful child. But still, the great sage became compassionate toward him, and for his welfare, he spoke the following verses. So, sometimes we may think that this person does not have the potential, he will not, giving instruction to suggest this person will not work. So, Narada Muni could have thought this person is a small child. He is speaking in a childish way. He is so stubborn to fulfill his desire. But Narada Muni became compassionate. Narada Uvacha.
Naradu Vacha
Jananyabhihi tappanta
Jananyabhihi Tatpantha
savai nishreyasasyate
Savai Nishreyasasyate
Bhagavan Vasudevastam
Bhagavan Vasudevastam
bhajatam pravanatmana.
Bhajatam Pravanatmana. Translation. The great sage Narad told Dhruva Maharaj, the instruction given by your mother Suniti to follow the path of devotional service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead is just suitable for you. You should therefore completely absorb yourself in the devotional service of the Lord.
So Narada is telling that, yes, tava jananya abhihitaha. Whatever your mother told, Suniti, whatever your mother told, Suniti told to worship Lord Vishnu. Sa eva Bhagavat Aradhana Lakshanaha. So you worship that Bhagavan only. Te tava nishreyasasya abhipretartasya pantaha margaha. That path of worshipping the Supreme Lord, that is definitely for your welfare. Vasudevaha sarva antaryami cha tat pravanatmana tad ekagra chittena tam bhaja. You worship that pravana atmana means ekagra chittena. You worship that Vasudeva with a one-pointed attention. One-pointed attention. So Narada is recommending the same path. The path recommended by your father is the same path I recommend. So there is no contradiction between the instruction of the different gurus. There is no, because any true guru tells a disciple to worship the Supreme Lord. So there is no contradiction between the instruction of the bona fide gurus. All the bona fide gurus, they tell the same path of worshipping the Supreme Lord and the path of bhakti. So therefore, Suniti was the Padapradashaka Guru. Narada is here the Diksha Guru and the Shiksha Guru. Both their instructions are the same. So Prabhupada says that Dhruva Maharaj's desire was not to be fulfilled by worshipping any demigod, because he wants a position greater than that of Lord Brahma. So, because the benedictions offered by the Devatas are all temporary, therefore Narada asked Dhruva to follow the path recommended by his mother, that is to worship Krishna. And when Krishna offers anything, it is beyond the expectation of the devotee. So both Suniti and Narada Muni knew that the demand of Dhruva Maharaj was impossible for any demigod to fulfill. Therefore, both of them recommended following the process of devotional service to Krishna. So another point is that Narada Muni is referred to as Bhagavan because he can bless any person just as the Supreme Personality of Godhead can bless. So he was very pleased with Dhruva Maharaj, and he could have at once personally given whatever he wanted. But that is not the duty of a guru. The duty of a guru is to engage the disciple in devotional service. So if he could have directly given whatever he wanted, but then Dhruva would not have undergone the purification by executing devotional service. A guru's duty is not to spoon feed a person. Guru's duty is to teach a person by which he can really get nourished. He can teach. Guru's duty is to teach a person to engage in devotional service. So Krishna was also present in front of Arjuna. Krishna could have directly killed all the people and he could have made Arjuna victorious immediately. But Krishna did not do so. Rather, he asked Arjuna to fight. The same way, Narada is asking Dhruva Maharaj to undergo the discipline of devotional service. Therefore, we see that a guru does not do some kind of a miracle to a devotee. The Supreme Lord does not do miracles in the life of a devotee. That the Supreme Lord, the spiritual master, they engage a person in such a way that the devotee becomes purified, the devotee becomes elevated. So therefore, they give instructions accordingly. Next shloka. Dharmartha kama mokshakyam
Dharmartha kama mokshakyam
yayichet shreya atmanah
yaichet shreya atmanah
ekam yeva harestatra
ekam he iva hare shastra
karanam pada sevanam.
karanam pada sevanam. Translation: any person who desires the fruits of the four principles religiosity, economic development, sense gratification, and at the end, liberation, should engage himself in the devotional service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The worship of his lotus feet yields the fulfillment of all of these.
So we see in this verse, Narada Muni is clearly saying that if one desires dharma, artha, kama, or moksha, ekam eva hares tatra, this is an important word. The only method to achieve this is worship of the feet of the Lord. Karanam pada sevanam. Ekam eva is important. Another verse in the Bhagavatam comes in 10th canto. Swarga apavargayo pumsam rasayam bhuvi sampadam sarvasam api siddhinam moolam tat charanarchanam. Devotional service to the lotus feet of the Lord is the root cause of all the perfections a person can find in heaven, in liberation, in the subterranean regions, and on the earth. So therefore, worship of Krishna can fulfill any desire. One should not think that, okay, oh, Krishna can give only Vaikuntha, but then he cannot fulfill my desires of this particular world. One may think like that. But then this verse clearly says that worship of the feet of Krishna can fulfill all the desires regarding dharma, artha, kama, and moksha. So Prabhupada's purport that it is said that only with the sanction of the Supreme Lord the demigods offer benediction. The Bhagavad Gita 7th chapter, Krishna says that Sataya Shraddaya Yuktas Tasyaradana Mihate Labate cha Tatakaman Mayaiva Vihitan Hita. When a person worships the Devata, I give the power to the Devata to fulfill the desires of their worshippers. So therefore, even when a person worships the Devata and gets his desires fulfilled, it happens only by the mercy of the Supreme Lord only. So therefore, whenever any sacrifice is offered to a Devata, the Supreme Lord in the form of the Narayana Shila or Shaligram Shila is put forward to observe the sacrifice. If you go to Udupi Chandramaulishwara temple, there in the Chandramaulishwara temple, there is the Shaligram Shila is also there. They first offer the Bhoga to Shaligram Shila, then offer the Prasad of the Shaligram Shila to Chandramaulishwara. When they do Abhishek, I heard that they keep the Shaligram Shila on top of the Shivalinga. The first the Abhishek milk and all, it is poured over the Shaligram Shila, and that Prasad of Vishnu comes to Lord Shiva. In the Isopanishad, 14th, 15th, 16th, 17th, 18th, last 4 shlokas, there is a prayer offered to Bhagavan. In those prayers, the Lord is addressed by the word Yama, Pushan, Yekarishe, Surya, and Prajapatya. So these words, they normally refers to Yama, refers to Yamaraj. Prajapatya refers to Brahma. Surya refers to Shiva, the Surya Dev. But in these prayers, all these words, Yama, Yekarishe, Surya, Prajapatya, all these words refer only to Vishnu. In fact, all the names of the demigods, they originally belong to Vishnu only. With the permission of Vishnu, these names secondarily refer to the Devatas. So Prabhupada says, actually the demigods cannot give any benediction without the sanction of the Supreme Lord. So Narada therefore advised that even for Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha, one should approach Krishna only. That is the real intelligence. So an intelligent person never goes to the demigods to pray for anything. He goes directly to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is the cause of all benediction. So Krishna had told in Bhagavad Gita, the performance of ritualistic ceremonies is not actually religion. The real path of religion is to surrender at the lotus feet of the Lord. So for one who is actually surrendered, there is no question of any separate endeavor for economic development. A devotee engaged in the service of the Lord is not disappointed in the satisfaction of his senses. If he wants to satisfy his senses, Krishna fulfills that desire also. And somebody is engaged in the service of Krishna, that is already, he is already in a liberated platform. Because devotional service is an activity on the liberated platform. In that sense, there is no separate necessity for his liberation. So in this way, Narada Muni has especially stressed the devotional service of the Lord as the only way. Even if one is full of material desires, he can continue his devotional service to the Lord and his desires will be fulfilled. We'll take this last shloka. Tattata gaccha badram te
Tattat gaccha bhadram te
yamunayastatam shuchi
yamunayastam suchi
punyam madhuvanam yatra
punyam madhuvanam yatra
sannidhyam nityadahare.
sannidhyam nityadahare. Translation: My dear boy, I therefore wish all good fortune for you. You should go to the bank of the Yamuna, there, where there is a virtuous forest named Madhuvan, and there be purified Just by going there, one draws nearer to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who always lives there.
So Bhadram te, let there be good fortune to you. And is immediately telling that you go to Madhuvan on the bank of Yamuna river, and where the Lord resides eternally. Punyam Madhuvanam tatra Sannidhyam Nityada Harehe. If you have gone in the Vrindavan Yatra, Madhuvan forest, the place where Dhruva Maharaj performed austerities, it is there in Madhuvan. And Krishna resides there eternally. Krishna never leaves Vrindavan. So Prabhupada's purport here. Narada and Suniti both advised Dhruva Maharaj to worship the Supreme Lord, but Narada is especially giving him. So Suniti, she gave a general instruction, you must worship the Supreme Lord. So Narada is giving very specific instructions. He is going to give different steps and the method by which he can worship the Supreme Lord. So Narada is telling that you go to the Madhuvan, the bank of Yamuna. So we see that places of pilgrimage, they offer special advantage because in the pilgrimage places, they are filled with transcendental sound vibration. Many saints and sages have gone there. The Lord's pastimes have taken place. So Krishna says that he lives wherever his devotees are chanting the glories of the Lord. There are many places of pilgrimage, and especially prominent are Badri Narayan, Dwaraka, Rameshwar, and Jagannath Puri. These are also called as Char Dham. 4 places: Badrinath, Dwaraka, and Jagannath Puri and Rameshwara. So Dham means the place where one can immediately contact the Supreme Lord. There is especially there's a technical definition of the word Dhama. Dhama comes from the root dhatu dha. With that you add the manin pratyaya. So Dhama means what? Dhama means Deha, Griha, Rashmau, Sthana, like that many meanings are there. But Dhamma specifically refers to the abode of the Lord. Sthana. Sthana is the appropriate meaning. The abode of the Supreme Lord. So then Prabhupada explains that how to go to Badrinath, one has to pass through Haridwar. And there are also other places called Prayag and Mathura. The topmost of all of them is Vrindavan. The Prayag is called as Tirtharaj Prayag, the king among the holy places. But Vrindavan is superior even to Prayag. So unless one is very advanced in spiritual life, it is recommended that he live in such a holy places and execute devotional service there. But an advanced devotee like Narada, who is engaged in preaching work, can serve the Supreme Lord anywhere. Sometimes he goes even to hellish planets. And such hellish conditions do not affect Narada Muni. Prabhupada also went to New York, and then he was not affected by the environment there. So, and according to the shloka, Narada Muni says that the Lord is residing in Madhuvan, Vrindavan eternally. Many saintly persons still live there and engage in the devotional service of the Lord. And then further, Prabhupada says that Madhuvan is one of the 12 forests of Vrindavan. It is said in one place, Bhaktivedanta Saraswati Thakur says that the tongue wants to gratify different flavors. But by wandering in the 12 forests of Vrindavan, one can be freed from the 12 flavors of material sense gratification. And also, by wandering in the 12 forests of Vrindavan, the 12 rasas exchanged between the living entity and the Supreme Lord, they are awakened. They are awakened in a person, and the 12 forests of Vrindavan can re-spiritualize the 12 bhakti rasas, can awaken the 12 bhakti rasas in the heart of a person. That way also is explained. So there are 5 forests on the eastern side of Yamuna and 7 forests on the western side of Yamuna. So in those 12 forests, there are different ghat bathing places, and Prabhupada gives the name of all those places. Avimukta, Adiruda, Guhya Tirtha, Prayaga Tirtha, Kankala, Tinduka Tirtha, Surya Tirtha, Vatsavami, and Dhruva Ghat. And other places also, he gives the names of those ghat. Dhruva Maharaj meditated and underwent severe penances and austerities there in an elevated spot. So he gives the name of some 24 ghat in those 12 forests. So further, Narada Muni will give more instructions about how to worship the Supreme Lord. He will describe the form of the Supreme Lord. He will describe how to worship and chant the holy names. We will see that next week. Hare Krishna. Anybody has any questions? Okay, we'll stop here.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah. So there, this in Prayag Mahakumbh is happening. So it is like I heard, like it is said, like people will get moksha or all sins will be destroyed. Like all these things are true because I don't have any knowledge, so that's why just asking.
Yeah, they are true, except it's true. It is true, but one has to go with the faith. One has to go with the faith, and one should not commit sins after taking bath.
Okay.
You should not commit sins after taking. One should not take the holy place. One should not use the holy place to get rid of our sins and then again commit sins. One should definitely, holy place is very powerful. The Amrita comes there every 12 years. By taking bath in that place, all one's sins are destroyed, all one's desires are fulfilled. Vaishnavas, they take bath with the desire to achieve Krishna Prema. And Prabhupada also went to Kumbh Mela because it was a great opportunity for preaching. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to Magh Mela and stayed every day for 10 days. Yeah, every day he was taking bath in the Sangam. That is how description is.
Okay, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So Prabhupada also says that even if a person is not able to go there, if possible, one should go there. But when we are chanting the holy names in Srimad Bhagavatam, because Krishna is not different from the holy name and the Bhagavatam, and all the holy places reside in the feet of Krishna. Therefore, by chanting the holy names and hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, one gets the same benefit of visiting all the holy places, because all the holy places reside at the feet of Krishna. So in that way, one gets the same benefit of visiting the holy places by these processes also, and also by serving a pure devotees of the Lord. Hare Krishna.